Do you like sitting around a campfire telling ghost stories? Well, how about staying at campsites with actual ghosts? Believers and risk takers head to these campsites across America and wait to see some unusual, bizarre, and otherworldly experiences. It doesn't have to be Halloween for a spooky outdoor adventure. From phantom priests in the forests of New Mexico to ghostly lovers walking hand in hand through Texas rivers, these aren't just scenic campsites, they're some of the most haunted places you can pitch a tent in. Strange whispers in the trees, invisible hands on your back, levitating bodies, glowing orbs, and the lingering spirits of tragic pasts. Each of these locations comes with a story that might just keep you up at night or send you running before sunset. So grab your flashlight and your nerves. There are 10 haunted camping spots for an overnight adventure you might survive, if you're lucky. At number 10 we have Lake Morena, California. Lake Morena in California, USA. It is surrounded by Lake Morena County Park in the Cleveland National Forest. Here it is during a long drought at the end of a dry summer, and it is at less than 3% capacity. In the distance, Morena Dam is high and dry. People have witnessed unexplained activity at the beautiful campsite close to the lake and the Pacific Crest Trail, not far from San Diego and the Mexican border. In 1893, the San Diego Union ran a story about people that heard heavy footsteps coming from the vast desert, saw eerie levitating bodies, and even a figure in a white dress on the shore of the lake. Others have seen an old man in the distant mountain landscape staring at them. In 1916, the Morena Reservoir flooded and over 50 people lost their lives. An area filled with history and tragedy, it's certainly one to check out. Be sure to go to the first weekend you can during a full moon for added spookiness. Well, I will not be staying there, but Lake Morena County Park is where you can camp nearby if you're so inclined. Next spot is Antietam Creek Campsite, Maryland. Tucked away in the quiet rolling hills of Maryland, Antietam Creek Campsite seems like a peaceful place to pitch a tent until you realize it sits near the site of one of the bloodiest days in American history. This is not a normal campground. It lies in the shadow of the Battle of Antietam, the single bloodiest day of the Civil War, when over 23,000 Union and Confederate troops died, were wounded, or went missing in a span of just 12 hours. The mood here is heavy, and some think it's because it still carries the vibrations of such unimaginable horror. Campers and curious ghost hunters have reported eerie sightings of phantom soldiers in Confederate uniforms silently marching through the fog. Others swear they've heard distant gunfire, drum beats, or even the thunder of ghostly cannons echoing through the night. There's even talk of shadowy figures standing guard by the river as if still defending a position long lost to time. Look, I'm all for a rustic camping experience, but reliving the Civil War with a bunch of restless spirits, I'll pass. All of that being the case, if you're a history nut with an eye for the macabre, you might also be interested in visiting nearby sites like Burnside Bridge, Bloody Lane, and the Antietam National Cemetery. They're not merely preserved battlefields. They're living, breathing bits of history. Just don't expect to be shocked if something or someone from the year 1862 decides to nod in your direction. Our 8th haunted spot is Freetown Fall River State Forest, Massachusetts. Hidden deep within the dense woods of southeastern Massachusetts lies a place straight out of a horror movie, the Freetown Fall River State Forest. At first glance, it might just seem like another peaceful patch of wilderness, but don't be fooled. This forest is part of the infamous Bridgewater Triangle, a region so packed with bizarre and chilling activities some have called it a real-life mini Bermuda Triangle. We're talking satanic cults, mysterious disappearances, UFO sightings, demon dogs, glowing orbs, and yes, even the occasional Bigfoot encounter. If it sounds like someone threw every horror legend into a blender and hit haunt, that's because, well, they basically did. Locals and visitors alike have reported feeling watched, hearing whispers in the trees, and witnessing unexplainable phenomena that would have even the bravest campers second-guessing their tent choice. Now, you can't camp directly inside the forest. Maybe that's for the best, but there's a KOA campground just outside its borders, right at the edge of the triangle. It's a bit too close for comfort if you ask me, but for thrill seekers and paranormal enthusiasts, it's the ultimate overnight experience. Just remember, Out here, it's not just the wildlife you need to watch out for. At number 7 we have Calico Ghost Town, California. Years ago, Calico was a bustling silver mining town nestled in San Bernardino County's Hot Hills. At the height of its success in the late 1800s, the town was alive with miners, saloons, and the constant din of pickaxes and wagon wheels. But by 1907, the silver had run out, and so had the luck of the town. The townspeople moved out, and Calico was abandoned, left behind like an old photograph from the Wild West. Today, it's a ghost town in more ways than one. The campground? Oh, it's not just near the old graveyard. It's practically in it. Yep, you could be unrolling your sleeping bag just a few feet away from where miners and townsfolk were laid to rest more than a century ago. If that doesn't give you chills, this might. Female campers have reported feeling physically touched or even assaulted by something invisible. Cold hands brushing their skin, whispers with no source, a presence that feels just a little too close. Is it the lingering energy of restless spirits, or maybe just the wind through the canyon rocks? Either way, I'm not sticking around to find out. But hey, if you're the kind of person who thinks haunted history sounds like the perfect vacation vibe, Calico might be calling your name. Just don't say I didn't warn you. Eden Park, Ohio is at number 6. In the fall of 1927, a woman on her way to a divorce hearing was chased by her husband's car into Eden Park, where he then shot and killed her. Visitors now see her in a black dress wandering the grounds, specifically the gazebo. This isn't a campground, so don't set up your tent, or maybe just don't go at all. Maybe bring some old friends, quickly look around, and run away as fast as your legs will carry you. About 4.5 hours northeast lies another spot filled with a spooky history, Beaver Creek Campground at the state park. Once part of a canal system from the early 1800s, this park is known for its beautiful hiking and camping, and also for its haunted canal locks. Jake's Lock and Gretchen's Lock hold some pretty scary tales, like getting struck by lightning and ships lost at sea when a coffin from the lock was loaded onto it. Hunting Island State Park, South Carolina is our next haunted spot. Hunting Island might be South Carolina's most visited state park, but beneath its natural beauty and iconic lighthouse lies a much darker reputation, one that only locals tend to whisper about. The historic Hunting Island Lighthouse is said to be deeply haunted, home to a few lingering spirits. One is a former keeper tormented by guilt after a child drowned under his watch. Another is the daughter of a different keeper whose tragic suicide within the lighthouse has left behind a chilling presence. Both are said to still wander the tower, their sorrow etched into the very walls. If that's not enough, campers nearby have reported some seriously unsettling experiences. Inhuman moans, disembodied whispers, laughter, and even eerie singing drifting through the trees. It's the kind of place that feels calm by day but turns otherworldly by night. As much as I love a good beach campout, this one's a little too haunted for my taste. But for the brave or the curious, Hunting Island just might be the perfect spooky getaway. Bannack State Park, Montana is at number 4. After a thriving gold mining community in the Wild West era, Bannack is today an exceptionally well-preserved ghost town with 2 campgrounds that bring more than just a scenic beauty. They bear histories told in blood and myth. In 1864, the town sheriff, Henry Plummer, was charged with leading a ruthless gang in secret that was behind a chain of robberies and killings. Without trial, Plummer was quickly executed by a lynch mob. The twist? No one ever really showed that he was guilty. According to legend, he died innocent, and that's why his vengeful ghost still haunts the town. Visitors and campers have also reported sightings of a ghostly apparition similar to Plummer's, wandering through the desolate streets in silence, sometimes appearing around the campsites. Whether he's after revenge, justice, or simply an effort to clear his name, we can't really say. If you're prone to fright, you might not want to camp here. But if you're intrigued by haunted history, the Visitor Center is a great place to start. Just don't be surprised if you leave with more questions than answers. At number 3, we have Cameron Park, Texas. Cameron Park can look like your typical peaceful haven into the great unknown, but scratch just a little under the surface and the stories start to get creepy fast. One of its most notorious sections is Jacob's Ladder, a spiral steep staircase that seems innocuous enough until women start reporting that invisible hands are tugging on their clothes as they climb. Chilly, right? A short distance from here is Lover's Leap, the cliff of despair where two lovers who were members of warring Native American tribes supposedly leap to their deaths. The locals claim that their spirits still linger, walking hand in hand every now and then along the river below, as if forever suspended in their moment of dying. It is eerie, it is romantic, and yet a little too real to be comforting for the mind. But that eerie atmosphere doesn't stop there. Visitors have also experienced spine-chilling encounters with witch-like specters dressed in black and white, seen scurrying rapidly through the woods or disappearing into thin air. Others even claim to hear shrill screams in the distance or smell rotting flesh with no visible source. Whether it's urban legend or something a little more paranormal, one thing is certain. This park has tales that could give any horror movie a run for its money. And truthfully, if the ghosts don't repel you, the odor just might. Holy Ghost Campground, New Mexico is at number 2. With a name like Holy Ghost Campground, you'd expect some supernatural history, and trust me, this place lives up to the legend. Nestled deep within the Santa Fe National Forest, the campground has been haunted by reports of a phantom Catholic priest dating all the way back to the late 1600s. According to local lore, the priest met a violent end on the very ground where campers now pitch their tents. Since then, the area has been shrouded in eerie stories. Everything from vanishing hikers to shadowy figures slipping between trees, and of course, those chilling glimpses of a silent man in priestly robes drifting through the woods. Now, I'm no ghost hunter, and I definitely don't need a late night sermon from beyond the grave. But if you've got a brave streak and a flashlight, this might be the perfect place to test your courage. Whether you believe in spirits or not, there's no denying the heavy, almost sacred silence that blankets the forest here. The kind that makes you whisper without realizing it. Just be sure to let someone know where you're going, because not everyone who's entered this forest has come back with a story. Some don't come back at all. Yosemite National Park, California is at number 1. No, not Yosemite, a favorite among America's national parks. Oh yes, it is haunted. One of the most beloved parks in the United States and, in my humble opinion, the world. Yosemite is known for its rock formations and is a mecca for cave explorers, rock climbers, and hikers. So what paranormal activity happens in the local area? Sections of the park are believed to be haunted by Native Americans who were killed there, and the Ahwahnee Hotel has seen its fair share of the unliving. Park Ranger Galen Clark reported sounds like dogs wailing along the Grouse Lake Trail, but was later told it was the sounds of a young boy who drowned in the lake. One worker of the hotel is said to have seen the ghost of John F. Kennedy, who visited a year before his assassination. Guests, keep an eye out and visit the National Park Service for more information on these haunted rumors. So, would you ever camp at one of these haunted places? Whether you are searching for adventure, history, or simply want to push your limits, these haunted campgrounds offer an incredible experience. From disturbed souls of Civil War soldiers to the chilling screams of a ghostly lighthouse keeper, these sites aren't so much about nature, they're about the unexplained. But remember, when you're out there, you're not alone. Who knows? The next chill down your spine might not be the wind. If you're brave enough to visit, don't forget to share your stories. After all, some legends are better experienced than told. Stay spooky, adventurers, and always keep your eyes on the shadows. And yes, stay tuned for more, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button.